I don't think LSU fans can lose in 2025. I think almost no matter how their season plays out, they're the winner in the long run. Because the options are either the Tigers are as good as everybody thinks they are right now / could be throughout the upcoming football season, and they're a contender to win the SEC, or the potential odds-on favorite to win the SEC, make the college football playoff, hell, make the Final Four, or win the national championship. And Tiger fans are through the roof ecstatic over what happens. Or they falter again. And it just cements the idea that maybe this marriage out of convenience, and I don't even know if it's a marriage out of convenience, to tell you the truth, as much as it might be a marriage out of necessity, between Brian Kelly and LSU is further kind of exposed as like, you know what? Maybe this doesn't work for either one of us. And maybe it's time to figure out something new. Now, make no mistake about it. I don't think Brian Kelly is on the hot seat, which is apparently somewhat of a hot take. If you look at these are the 9 coaches that need to be fearful for their jobs going into the upcoming college football season. I don't believe that Brian Kelly is on the hot seat by any stretch of the imagination. Now, that's not to say that the results this year couldn't put him there, but that's true for damn near everybody in the sport. Ohio State just won the national championship, and I'm here to tell you that if Ryan Day leads the Buckeyes to a 3-9 record this season, he's probably not going to be the coach in 2026. Everybody in the sport is a bad year or a catastrophic year from everybody inside an athletic department, college, university, and football program looking around going, this dude's still going to be here? So that's not just strictly related to Brian Kelly. That's not how this works. It isn't. The idea that they have underachieved isn't enough to put him on this guy is going to be put on a railroad tie and rode out of town status. He's not there. There are plenty of other coaches in the Power Four, in the Big Ten, in the SEC, who absolutely are on the hot seat, who need to have not even a really good season, a really good start to the season to make it to the end of the season. And I think to put Brian Kelly on a list of, that seat's starting to get scalding hot in Baton Rouge, I don't believe is true or really fair for all that matter. But when push comes to shove, it really truly is true that LSU fans, I don't think, can lose in 2025, because there's a lot of people who believe that the Bayou Bengals are the team to beat in the SEC. And if they're not the team to beat, they are a team that should find themselves in the SEC championship game based on talent alone. Now, we know that they don't just play games based on talent alone, but that does give you some idea of what the expectations are / should be. And if those are the expectations, and the expectations are clear-cut, they are finite, this is what people expect LSU to do and be in 2025. Be an SEC championship contender or the leader in the clubhouse, make the college football playoff, do some damage in the college football playoff, because you have a good roster, you have a potential number 1 overall draft pick at the quarterback position, and this is the year for either Brian Kelly, for lack of a better term, shit or get off the pot. It is time for the Tigers to make strides under this regime, because the excuses are non-existent at this point. You can't say, well, I didn't get a chance to put in my system, or I didn't get a chance to get my players in there. All of those are out the window. This is Brian Kelly's LSU program. And that means it's put up or shut up time. It is either time to be one of the best programs in America, because make no mistake about it, that is why Brian Kelly was hired. You don't leave Notre Dame for any other job with the expectation of, some 8-5 finishes are going to be good enough. I'm going to leave Notre Dame because I can't complete my lifelong dreams and goals at Notre Dame. I'm going to have to go somewhere else. Oh, let me go finish 9-3. That's not how that works. And I think Brian Kelly would be the first person to probably tell you, like, hey, we have not lived up to what we believe are the reasons why I took the LSU job in the first place, or lived up to the talent that we've had. He's had a Heisman Trophy winner in his limited time at LSU. And yet the team's success has not and is not materialized. So for LSU fans, either 2025 goes according to plan, and who can, at the end of the day, after some time to think about it, really sit and complain about a college football playoff semifinal appearance, or a appearance in the national championship game, or holding the gold trophy at the end of the whole damn thing. If those are the expectations, if the expectations are LSU should be one of the four final teams standing, and they accomplish that, you can't sit here and go, oh my God, we're never going to win the big one with this guy. I don't think you can sit there and have that conversation. On the flip side, because the expectations are so concrete and so clear-cut, anything less fuels that narrative that Brian Kelly is not the guy for LSU, that the Tigers have taken a step backwards, that even though this program, the last couple of coaches in succession have won a national championship, Brian Kelly is not going to be the guy to get that done. That can be fair and valid too if the expectations aren't met or even exceeded. So I think you're kind of playing with house money in 2025 if you're an LSU fan, because you get definitive answers about your program. Because I think the question is fair right now of, is Brian Kelly going to be the leader to lead us to the promised land? And I recognize that might feel like a weird question to ask when the last coach was Ed Orgeron. But I think that is a fair and legitimate question at this stage of Brian Kelly's tenure at LSU. Is this guy ever going to get us over the hump? Is this guy the guy who's going to lead us to another national championship? And while it might seem counterproductive to say, you know what, we're going to boot a guy who's won 8, 9, 10 games every year as our head coach, I think sometimes those are the hard decisions you have to make. Now, I think you also have to grapple with the fact that the grass isn't always greener, right? Sometimes you have to understand who you are, what you are, and where you are. And if LSU felt as if there was another coach out there who was interested in coming to lead their program, who they felt strongly was going to win them a national championship, then they are doing a disservice by keeping Brian Kelly as their head coach. But I don't think that they've come to that determination yet. But it really is put up or shut up time in Baton Rouge in 2025. And from where I sit, LSU fans win regardless, because you're either one step closer to competing for or flat out winning a national championship, or you are that much closer to coming to the realization that this guy who is currently in charge of your program is not the guy for the job. And that can be an empowering situation to find yourself in too. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you think Brian Kelly and LSU, do you think it's a long-term fit? Do you believe the Tigers can win a national championship under Brian Kelly? Want to read your comments below. That'll do it for today's episode of the Daily Huddle. I appreciate you making us a part of your day, however it is, wherever it is you're doing so. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're getting all the great college football content we're pumping out. If you're listening on the podcast feed, drop a 5-star review. It goes a long way in helping out the channel. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Daily Huddle.